Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to Movie Hosers.
We're in a hotel right now.
Yeah, so we're trying to be quiet. You can see the hotel behind us. Is that exciting?
No.
This is a new concept for us. It's called
Video.
This is the new thing that they're doing. And we have a camera set on my lap and a camera
Camera phone.
camera phone, a blue snowball in my face.
Some blue balls.
Yeah. So he's snowball on my face.
Yeah.
And this is so screwed up.
Oh, this is fine.
This is perfect.
A first attempt.
All right, but you're talking over there, and
I'm
the
not
camera's
talking
over here.
there.
So we're going to add some video to our podcast,
Yeah.
and we're back. We've had some downtime for about a year. A little downtime.
I'm hoping that the video will make this easier.
Yes.
It's easier to edit than like grabbing 300 JPEG images and sewing it together into
That takes too much time.
in a 30-minute video. So hopefully this is better.
Yeah. So what we're talking about today is Mother, directed by Darren Aronofsky, and starring Jennifer Love Hewitt and Jared
Fogel.
Yes.
Subway.
Jennifer Love Hewitt and Christian Slater or something. I don't know.
What?
No.
Jennifer Lawrence.
Javier Bardem.
And Jennifer Lawrence.
And J-Lo.
Michelle Pfeiffer.
And
Ed Harris.
And Ed Harris.
Yeah.
Edward Norton. Ed Burns.
I'd love if Edward Norton was in the movie.
He would have been good.
Yeah, sure.
He's always good.
In the movies he's not in anymore.
No. So we're going to try to make these reviews quick.
Yeah, sure, I guess.
We give it a thumbs up. That's it. All right, subscribe.
10 out of 10 movie for me.
10 out of 10. So a lot of people hate this movie.
Yeah, a lot of critics didn't like it.
Really bad reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Everybody hates it. My personal opinion is people that hate it didn't understand it.
Yeah.
Didn't see the metaphors and all the magical stuff.
They couldn't see past the fact that it was so artsy, I guess.
Yeah.
It's very much a film that you would find at like a
Walmart.
Shut up. At like a movie like convention, like the Toronto Film Festival or Vancouver Film Festival or something like that, which I think it did do.
Yeah. The Film Actors Guild. Face with it.
Well, it's heavy.
Yeah. So that's about it. It's about Mother. Mother has many themes to it. So if you're not ready for these themes, people are watching us. If you're not ready for the themes, then you're not going to get it. You have to go into it being prepared for something amazing, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's a big old metaphor for like Christianity in the Bible. Well, yeah, that's in the Bible, so it's kind of.
Yeah, it's about Bible stuff, and it's about environmental stuff.
Yeah.
And we both loved it, so we both highly recommend it. We give it 10 out of 10. You give it 5 stars out of 5. We give it 100% Rotten Tomato score, so we give it highest marks. And I guess we'll talk more about it now. So if you don't want any spoilers, then you don't want to continue.
Go away. Yeah. Well, don't go away. I don't know. This movie was also horribly marketed. It was marketed as like a horror thriller. Horror thriller.
Mm-hmm.
Like my friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my friend thought it was like a cult movie, like a cult of
Chucky.
Yeah, sure. A cult of Satanists are coming to like kill them or something,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't. It was just a big old metaphor for the Bible.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the trailers made it look like they often do. They made it look like some sort of action-packed kind of nail-biting suspense movie. Almost like the kind of movie where you're under siege or something, like a Home Alone.
Yeah. It looked
Macaulay Culkin-ish.
I don't know. I saw the trailer and I didn't like it. I thought it was just another weird generic horror movie, but it was a lot better than that.
Yeah, and I, on the other hand, I decided to look up the entire plot of the movie because
Before you saw it.
yeah, before I saw it, because I like to do that, and it doesn't detract from the movie if I know what's going on. And so actually reading the plot made me want to see it more.
It's like,
Where's your head?
I don't know.
Can you get your head in here?
Can you like move?
Oh, I thought if I move more this way.
No,
See,
you're
everything's backwards.
you were
So
pushing me out of frame, you ding dong. Basically, every character in this movie is just a representation of something else. Like they're not a character as much as they're just a metaphor for something.
They're an archetype of a genome.
Archetype? Archetype? What are
Sure.
you talking about, archetype?
Well, basically, you have a movie that follows a lot of Old Testament stuff. And
Yeah, so they're an archetype.
yeah. And a lot of people, I'm doing it again. And a lot of people have it completely wrong about what different things mean in this movie. They totally have it wrong. Mother represents, in my opinion, Earth and all of nature and everything that's neither good nor bad. And Javier, so J-Lo plays
J-Law.
J-Law.
J-Lo is a completely different.
J-Lo
famous person.
J-Lo does the soundtrack. And Javier Bardem, he is him, which is basically God, or if not God, the creator. He's a creator
Of sorts.
of sorts. He gets the ball rolling with a crystal. The crystal is basically Mother's heart. And they're trapped, I don't know if word trapped is the right word, but they're in a cycle of creation to destruction.
Yeah, a cycle that he
A vicious cycle,
creates.
I would like to say.
He creates and perpetuates this cycle.
Yeah. There's no cycling in this movie, like
Unfortunately.
like a bicycle, but there's a lot of suspense and a lot of. You see, I don't see this as a horror movie, but it is horrific in ways. But I like the way they do the horror in this, because I don't know if we're going to talk about it at some point, but it I liked, but I don't like the way they did the horror in it, but I like the way they did it in this.
It wasn't a horror like it is now, jump scares.
And it wasn't jump scares and
This was more shock value. Shock
and awe.
I don't it was just disturbing. And there was basically no music throughout the entire film. It was all quiet, and you could hear every single thing that the character did in excruciating detail, which was very upsetting and unsettling.
So the movie starts with.
You're gonna eat the microphone? Oh, please don't.
The movie starts with the movie starts with Mother
Sneezing.
with Mother sneezing with his house that's burned to a crisp.
Yes.
He puts a crystal in a thing. Everything comes back to life. Mother appears. Mother's looking for him. They seem to have a happy life. He seems to be a poet. He's got writer's block. He can't write his latest, greatest thing that he's trying to write,
It's called a poem.
which is supposed to be a poem, I guess. Happy life, happy wife, all the good stuff. Then man shows up.
Ed Harris, yes. Yeah, he shows up.
Ed O'Neill.
Ed
Love Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill.
It'd be awesome. Anyways, Ed Harris shows up. He's man. He represents man.
Really?
Yeah, like Adam and Eve man.
Really?
Yes. And
Okay.
the place where the creator, him, is trying to write his book is his office. And a lot of critics say that the house itself was the Garden of Eden, and I say no, it wasn't. The office was.
Yes,
Right.
because that makes a lot more sense.
Yes, because
Yes. Dive
because
bomb the microphone.
you're getting out of the thing again.
Well, you're moving it. You're moving
And
the
everything's
thing.
you got to get the hair in here. All right. So then man comes, disrupts their life.
Yes.
Mother's not happy about that because she just wants the house, and she wants him, and that's it. Nothing else. She doesn't care about anybody else, except she's just the sweetest character.
Yes, very, very, very caring. Puts up with a lot of crap.
Yes. And then him and the man form this friendship, and there's a scene where God has got man bent over a toilet, and he's
vomiting.
Obviously removing his rib because he has an open wound on his back. That's the rib. Eventually, woman shows up.
A woman shows up once that happens.
Yeah, so you can see this whole Adam and Eve, the rib, blah blah blah. The woman who shows up is a real bitch, a real pain in the ass. Both the man and the woman end up getting into God's or his study and destroying the crystal, angering God and kicking them out forever from the garden of
his office.
Which
he seals up.
He seals it up, like in a way that this in a way that you would think things should not be sealed up.
And no one else goes into the office after that other than him and her. So basically, God and
him and
Earth, or mother, whatever. Shut up.
Yeah, and so then a bunch of stuff happens, you know.
Yeah, more people show up.
Yeah. There's Cain and Abel.
Yep.
Cain kills Abel.
The two sons. One kills the other one. Yeah.
One of the things that really sticks out in this movie is the utter amount of neglect and abuse mother takes, not just from everyone around her, but even from him.
Yes.
The one that's supposed to love her. There was a scene in the movie that stuck out in my mind amongst many, is the scene where the brother kills the other brother. So like the Cain kills Abel. Cain flees, then the rest of the characters take the other brother to the hospital, right?
Yes.
Mother's left there alone, and the bad brother comes back. That brother just finished killing his one brother, and he says to mother, he says, he left you alone by yourself. So it almost shows to me that you got a character who's a murderer who seems to be more concerned about mother than him.
Yes.
Yeah. It just goes, you can't get into...
It's not my fault that you suck.
Totally.
Here, this is better. Just leave it like this now.
Okay, but I gotta get my... do this.
This is hard. We're sitting on two chairs.
We're on two chairs.
Two chairs.
It's just called two chairs. Anyways, well, too bad. That's about it. Yeah. So then that happens. Yeah. Well, no, that's not about it. There's a whole bunch more stuff.
Then more people come.
Whole bunch. There's a whole baby Jesus type thing in it, which is really horrific.
Messed up, yeah.
It's messed up. It basically there's crazy religious zealots that show up. There's people that are destroying the house, stealing from the house, painting the house. Just madness is going on in the house. This movie goes from sweet to just horrific, and mother gets the crap beat out of her. It's just horrible stuff happens to her, and then in the end she's had enough.
And then she ends up destroying it all.
She destroys everything, and then the whole cycle starts all over again. So it really shows a lot about how man treats the environment we live in, how people take religion and they change it to fit their needs. That happens in it. There's a whole bunch of things about greed and sloth and all those different sins, the deadly sins.
This movie is chock full of just metaphors and references and things that
hatred towards organized religion. I can see in this hatred towards people that defile the environment.
A very environmentalist agenda.
Yep. It portrays the God character as extremely selfish. All he cares about is people loving him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't give it back. Mother, who's pretty much Earth, is abused and just treated like complete garbage. And it kind of shows in the end of the movie that the God character can't be anything without the mother character, and almost vice versa. He can't create without her. She's sort of the creator. He gets the ball rolling, but she creates everything. That's sort of what you kind of get out of it.
Yes.
Because basically the house can't be built without her. Another thing that's interesting is too, he's struggling to work on his next great piece, which I interpret as the New Testament.
Yes.
Yes.
Because that kind of set in motion
the madness.
A whole new wave of just insanity.
It set New Wave out, like Flock of Seagulls, all that stuff. New Wave, right?
Yeah, that's hilarious. It's not. You suck.
So that's mutter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what else I can say about it. I absolutely, totally loved it. We were in an audience that was packed with about 8 people, because no one wants to see this.
No.
And I think I could tell some of the audience was not happy.
Yeah, because they were lied to during marketing.
Yeah, they were expecting something that was completely a slasher type of a flick, and it wasn't. And somebody asked me, they said, "Is this movie violent?" And immediately I thought, no, not at all. But then I started to write down the amount of violence in this movie. It is extremely violent, actually, isn't it?
Yeah.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Babies are being torn apart.
Well,
Cats and dogs.
Well, one baby gets torn apart.
Well, one baby's torn apart in the movie.
And eaten.
Many others probably elsewhere, but in the movie. And people are violent. The woman is beaten.
People are being shot, killed, human trafficking.
Ribs being taken.
Well, I mean, you don't really see that.
You don't see the rib. You don't see the baby necessarily being... You see the baby die.
You see the baby die, and then they're eating it.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And they're pretty happy about that.
Well, yeah. It's
delicious.
Eat the flesh of eat the flesh of baby Jesus. Eat them.
Tastes like chicken.
Slap some Flex Seal on that. Fix them right up.
Yeah. So it's So if you're into if you're up for a good rom-com, go for it. We loved it.
If you're way into thinky, metaphorical, artsy kind of films, this is definitely it. This is not a horror film. This is not a slasher film. This is not what you think it was marketed as. It's completely different. However, it's really good, and you should definitely see it with
your mother.
No, maybe, depending on how cool she is. You should definitely see it with an open mind and not like
open pants,
open shirt.
Hang it out.
Whip it out.
Yep.
Show it to your grandma.
Yep. Don't be jerking in the theater.
Yeah.
It's a waste.
We ain't got no
waste.
jizz moppers anymore.
What
do you think about Paul Rubin?
Paul Rubin. He should have been in it.
Ooh.
All right.
He's a good actor,
He is.
if he isn't whacking off in theaters. Was that like 20 years ago?
It is, yeah. All right. We're good.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. See it. Do it. Do it right now.
Right.
See it.
Subscribe and stuff.
See it. Do it.